I'm going to show you an exploit to beat Morgott The Omen King with a cheese strat where you don't even fight him and you just kill him. And it's so easy to do. You're going to need for this a bow and or a crossbow and or a jar cannon. So I'm going to have the crossbow, a longbow, a jar cannon. You probably don't need that many, but it just the more you have, the better. The jar cannon is up in Volcano Manor. It's going to be in the Volcano Cave. You can buy a longbow at the Table of Grace from the Twin Maiden Husks. And you can pick up a crossbow down here. There's a merchant right here somewhere in Weeping Peninsula. It was either him or the one over here. I can't remember which one. One of those guys has a crossbow. Then what you're going to do is you're going to go around the world picking up arrows and bolts. So a lot of merchants will have normal arrows and bolts, but you're going to want to go to this guy for sure and get serpent arrows that do poison. You can get fire arrows from this guy down there. You can go to this merchant right here by the city, and he will give you holy arrows and holy bolts. And then you can go to the merchant right here, nomadic merchant up by the volcano, and he will have explosive great bolts, and he will have great bolts, I think, and he'll have explosive arrows. So you just get as many as you want, you know. And if you can go to Dynasty Mausoleum, if you got this unlocked early, you can get blurred bolts from the guy down in the actual Dynasty place. And then he also sells magic arrows. You don't need all that. Just get as many different types as you can. It's mainly about getting different types so you can swap them out while doing this exploit. So the next thing we're going to do is we're going to go to Morgott. The nearest grace is going to be Queen's Bedchamber. Morgott is the boss at the end of the city area at the midpoint of the game. So now that we are at the royal capital, you're going to head up this staircase, and we're going to use a strat that speedrunners use, but we're going to use it a little bit differently. So what we are going to do is we are going to get up on this ledge right here. And this is a part that some of you will have problems with, but it's totally doable. And also, you may die doing it. We're going to try to jump over onto the next ledge. So you can go up here and kind of do it like that. And it's a little inconsistent, but if you try long enough, you'll get it eventually. A lot of times you'll just fly right over, though. It's a really tough thing to get, but it's not impossible to get at all. So let me just keep trying. Oh my gosh, I can't even get the whip. Hold on. There we go. Got it. So if you get here, and you have to have already gone in there one time. If you've never fought Morgott, go in there and then exit the game and come back in or whatever, or just die to get out. And now that Morgott is spawned in, you can two-hand your bow or crossbow or whatever. Put on whatever ammunition that you want. I'm going to try out golden arrows and serpent arrows. And now what you can do is use LB or L1 or whatever it is on PC. I have no idea. A weak left-handed attack to get like this. And then what you can do is you can just shoot Morgott. And if your bow is leveled up, if your crossbow is leveled up, if any of that's leveled up, then you'll do a lot more damage. But if not, you can just rely on status effects in order to do the damage to Morgott. You can also get, another thing you could get is you could get raw arrows. This guy right here sells a recipe to make raw arrows. And then you can grab the Ionian butterflies in here that you'll need for that. There's also blood bone arrows you can get, which will bleed damage. And you can get them from Fort Height West. There's a cookbook up in the fort. Oh, and I just jumped off the map because I pressed B. Okay, so I'm back in position. I'm going to go ahead and poison him again. And then let's take a look at the jar cannon. The jar cannon, which is a great ballista, you'll have to be very careful with, because the jar cannon will knock you back a little bit when you fire it because it has so much force. So I'm going to put on the explosive great bolts, and I'm going to try, even though I can't even wield it correctly because I don't have any strength as my mage character. So we're going to try this out. You got to be real careful not to go off the edge. So it does about 100 damage when I can't wield it correctly. Still pretty cool to use. So that's the jar cannon. I'll get 20 shots per rest out of grace. But if you actually have the stats to use this, it'll probably do a lot more damage. If you level it up, I think it does like 700 damage per shot or something. So that's an option. Now I want to look at the bird bolts and the explosive bolts. Unfortunately, I forgot to stock up on the bleed arrows, which is what I would really want for this. But I can... Wow, I hopefully I don't fall off. Got to two-hand it. And then... I want to try these flame arrows. How much damage is this going to do? Or these explosive arrows, I mean. So, I don't know. They just don't do damage. I think he has some kind of bonus resistance when I do it like this. So, really, poison and rot things are going to be your best bet, and bleed. If I would have stocked up on more of these bleed arrows, or if I had done the other kind where you craft them and just crafted enough of them, then this would be a lot easier, because you could just spam them down with bleed, and you see how much damage that bleed does. But I only have enough here to maybe even just do 2 ticks of bleed, and that's it, if I'm lucky. So, yeah, ideally, you're going to want to stock up a lot better for this than what I am right now. Let's go ahead and see if we get that second bleed before I run out of these. All right, I did. So now I only have 10 left. That's not enough. So then the other type I have is just the serpent arrows. So you get the point now. You'll just go ahead and poison him or rot him, and be careful always to 2 hands so you don't punch and then fall off the ledge and then lose all your progress. But yeah, poison is going to be the easy one, and then the other one is going to be using rot or bleed. And he'll actually go to stage 2, by the way. There he is vomiting up rot. And once he goes to stage 2, he'll actually have a health bar, which is really funny. And it does the normal boss health bar. And, yeah. So now you just sit here and you would just spam at him until he's dead. I'm going to go ahead and speed this process up. Well, it was a tough battle, but it is finally almost over. And just like that, there goes Morgott, the Omen King. I got his Great Rune. I got his Remembrance. I got the 144,000 runes. And what's really curious here is that his mist is still here. And now I am soft-locked from going in there. So I'm going to have to see if I quit the game and come back in if it'll fix that. I bet it will. So I got back in, and the mist is still there. So this will soft-lock your game unless you do another exploit that I'm going to show you now. So what you're going to do is you're going to get back up on that wall. Or if because you watched the video, you're not going to get down in the first place. And what we're going to do now, once I can get back up there... Oh, let me skip to me getting up there. Okay, we have an alternate strategy. I fell off on accident and died right there, and it just respawned me right here. So I guess we can just do that instead. But now, we have a problem, which is that there is no grace. So we just killed him. Maybe we have to go up here to make the grace appear. Let's find out. I actually haven't done this in a long time, so... Let's go up and interact with this, and then come back, and now the grace is there. Okay, good. The grace is still there. I thought we actually hardcore soft locked. I forgot you have to do that to make the grace appear. So there you go. That'll work. That fog wall will be there forever, though. But if you want to get in, I guess you just die on the other side of it by jumping off the edge, and it should put you in here. The other thing, if that doesn't work, because I was going to have you get back up on that ledge and do the old speedrun strat, which is probably still a speedrun strat. If you get back up there where I was shooting from, and then you exit the game and come back in, and then the second you come back in, you drop and come through that gate, it won't load in time, and you'll just run right through it. So that's the other way. Between that and the other one, you'll be able to just get back in here then, and then you'll touch this grace, and you're moving on with the rest of the game. Morgott is defeated, and the game is bugged to hell with that gate, but we did it. We defeated Morgott. Oh, and by the way, after I sat down to talk to her, now the thing's gone. So we're all clear. It's not a permanent thing. You just got to talk to Melina or whatever, and then it will let you come back out and through any way that you want. So now you know how the new exploit that you can use to cheese Morgott even after patch 1.03.